I have lived in Killeen for 20 years, and that sounds crazy to say out loud, but it is true. And so when I come to you with information in this area, please know it comes from a genuine place, genuine heart, and someone that has been here for a very long time. I went to high school here, graduated, went to college in San Antonio, came back. So I'm a legit Killeen person, or pretty close to. I wasn't born here, but I did get here in 8th grade, and so I have been here since, and probably given a little bit of my age too. But nevertheless, the information I tell you is from a legitimate person that has been here, invested in this community, believes in this community, and I'm sharing with you all of my experience so you know what to expect when you move here. And with that being said, some things have changed too, and so today's video is going to be about some pros and cons of this area, some things that I'm not quite as fond of, because of course I have to give you the real information and genuine information. But does that mean that I dislike this area, that I'll be moving in anytime soon? Absolutely not. I'm still your Central Texas realtor, your favorite one at that, and I'm giving you all the tools and resources that you need to make the best decision possible. My name is Brina Gordon. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can get all the new alerts for new videos. Comment down below if you have questions about our area, and stay tuned. All right, so jumping right into this video, some things that I'm not quite as fond of, and these are really just changes that I've seen over the last, years, few years, several years. It just depends on which one. And so again, just giving you this information so you are already aware when you move to our lovely area. There's probably some things that you may not be aware of, especially if you're not used to military areas, changes just in our housing market here, and just some general changes, and so I'm going to share that information with you. Number one, I'm going to have to say the sound effects from Fort Cavazos. Now, if you're not used to living near an armored military installation, that's a little bit different than just a normal installation. This is a very big training area, and so if you've never heard tanks going off or just different training exercises, really the tanks or whatever, I don't know, whatever they're shooting out there, sometimes they can kind of catch you off guard. And so if you've lived here, you're pretty much used to it. It's kind of just like a running joke here, like, oh, they're out there training. But it is something that I think has increased a little bit over the last couple years. Maybe it depends on what's going on in the world. That's a whole different topic, not going into that. But I have noticed that it has increased. And so if you're not used to it, that could definitely be something that can, like, oh my gosh, what was that? It's nothing bad. No, don't get me wrong. Your house is not falling apart. You're not shaking. You're just, it's nothing crazy. But it is kind of like a background sound effect at times. Not 24/7, not all the times. But if you're not used to it, again, it can probably startle you a little bit if you hear a random bang that's kind of muffled from a distance, if that makes sense. It's them out there training. Now, granted, they are miles away, but we get a little bit of a after shock sound effect kind of thing going on locally, and it's something that you can hear in the neighboring cities, so it's not the easiest thing to get away from. Does it stop anything here? Absolutely not. Do people not purchase homes here before because of it? Absolutely not. Again, it's just something, if you're not used to being near a armored military installation, it can probably catch you off guard. And I think it's increased just a little bit, but again, it probably depends on whatever they're training or whatever they're trying to accomplish. But it is something to be aware of.
Hey, if you're thinking of relocating to the Fort Cavazos area, I have just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research. And I have it linked right down below. The best part is there's no obligation to this, and it's going to come with everything from the top employers to the best schools and a boatload of other information. Everything that you need to make the best decision. Again, no obligation. So make sure you click the link below. It also will be pinned, and I hope that it helps.
Second, I would say property taxes. I don't think people are always quite estimating our property taxes. A lot of times people think like, oh, homes are cheaper in Texas, or maybe homes are cheaper in certain areas of Texas, and that's going to lead me into number 3. But property taxes are a little bit higher here. So, we do save a little bit on some side, on another tax area, but our property taxes can get you a little bit if you're not prepared for them. That's the biggest thing, if you're not prepared for them. Now, of course, other states may operate differently, but I'm just speaking here in Texas, in Central Texas, because again, a lot of times people think that homes are cheap here, something like that, which again is going to kind of lead us into number 3. But property taxes can definitely catch people off guard a little bit, because if you're looking online or something, and it's very easy for them to have their little mortgage calculators in there, and you can see one number and you're like, oh, this is perfect, and then you actually speak to a lender. Always talk to a local lender. but you actually speak to a lender and it kind of shoots up and you're like, where did this come from? It probably is property taxes, because a lot of times they're just looking at principal and interest. They're not actually calculating everything that is inside of your mortgage payment. So I would definitely say that catches people off guard a little bit. It also can depend on the city that you're in. If it's a new home, there's a few different factors, but I do think property taxes catch people off guard a little bit here. If you're used to this area, then of course it's something that you're already kind of accommodated to, and you're probably calculating it a little bit differently, but keep that in mind.
All right, now for the question of the day. What is the first thing you look for in a new city? Is it a coffee shop or your favorite store? I really want to know, so make sure you comment down below, or better yet, shoot me a text, email, or even give me a call. All my information is going to pop up here on the screen. So again, what is the first thing you look for in a new city?
And that leads us into number 3. Of course, we are still labeled as one of the most affordable areas in the nation and in Texas, but I would say homes are probably a little bit more expensive than people think they are. Again, I think people have this notion of, oh, it's Killeen, there's nothing there, although that's not true. Look at my other videos. I'll link a couple here, things to do, and we're continuing to grow. I think sometimes people have this assumption that, homes are relatively, I would say cheap here. I don't think they're cheap here, because of course people are still buying homes. People are still, there's beautiful homes here. So I would never have that sort of concept of lower quality or something like that here, because that's not true. But I do think sometimes when you actually start searching, when I'm talking to people, they're probably a little bit more than what they thought they were. Again, we are still considered extremely affordable, but just like any other place across the nation, they went up. Our prices have gone up after COVID. Same thing here. Are we still affordable? Absolutely. People are still buying, selling every day. But I don't think, as an outsider looking in, we're probably the price range where people assume that we are. Now, you can still get great homes. You can get homes in all sorts of price ranges, and I sell homes in all sorts of price ranges. But I do like to make sure people know, hey, we're still not exempt from, the national change of homes did increase some. So are we still affordable? Yes. But are we, are you going to get the cheapest home ever here? Probably not. And we're continuing to grow. We're an hour from Austin, so we do get some overflow from the Austin area as well. We're centrally located, so if you're not aware, so we're 2 hours from Dallas, an hour from Austin, 3 hours from Houston, 2.5 hours from San Antonio. So it is a good kind of mixed area in regards to your distance to other locations, which does help to bring in different buyers here as well, whether they're investors, primary owners, or something in between. On top of, we are connected to the largest armory installation in the nation, so that alone kind of keeps our economy running here as well. So those are a few factors that I think I've seen change over the years, and they're not necessarily bad. Like I said, the one thing I'm not quite fond of is the sound effects, just because sometimes they do this at night, and so you're trying to sleep and you've got this like little boom that's happening. Now, does it ever stop anybody? Again, no. It's just something that people aren't always used to. Property taxes, we are all adjusting to changes in, the housing market, housing economy, what prices look like, what a normal monthly payment looks like as well. So just general changes. And again, that led us into how much a home costs. Still very affordable, but I have definitely seen, price changes. It's something even myself as a real estate expert, we're still adapting to it as well, just because the expectations for especially monthly payment, when people see what their monthly payment is based on the home that they're looking at, sometimes they're okay with it, and sometimes we have to adjust a little bit so that they can enjoy their home and not be stressed making those monthly payments.
Hey guys, as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing that I absolutely love more, and that's helping families from all over the US make the move here to the Fort Cavazos and surrounding area. I've helped countless families move here, so whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My contact information is going to be right here down below in case you missed the pop-up screen, and I look forward to helping you and your family move to our beautiful area.
And the last thing is not really a con, but I do see a lot of people that love 2-story homes, and I will say, just in a ratio wise, we have more 1-story homes here. I'm not 100% sure why that ratio is like that, because there are a lot of people that do still love 2-story homes. They love the loft space or just the aesthetically look of a 2-story home. But I will say, we do have a majority of 1-story homes here, especially post-COVID. It seems like builders really leaned heavily on 1-story homes. Now we are starting to see more 2-story homes come up, but there is definitely a little bit higher ratio of 1-story homes. And I just say that because I have a lot of people that will ask me, like, why do I see more 1-story homes? So definitely not a pro or con. In my book, I actually like 1-story homes because I don't like stairs. I'm just not fond of cleaning them. But it's just something to keep in mind if you're looking for homes here. You will see a slight ratio difference in between the 1-story and 2-story homes. Still some 2-story homes to select from. And again, builders are starting to incorporate them more back into their building plans now. So it's starting to get better. I guess logistics, chains, and all those are starting to get better. But you will kind of see that difference as well. So I say all these different things. Again, I have no intention of leaving. I'm still your favorite Central Texas realtor, so make sure you always reach out to me. These are just some things to definitely keep in mind. So make sure you comment down below if you have questions about our area, or if there's something that you have kind of noticed that you would like to point out. I am always open ears. I'm going to make sure I'm providing you guys with the best information that I can. I am Brina Gordon, your favorite Central Texas realtor. There are so many things that I do like about this area, and I've made other videos on it, and so you can check them out here if you're interested. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.